This Impact Wrestling review was brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Try it, and the next time the Aces and Eights are in a loser gets kicked out of the club match, the babyfaces will just pin every goddamn one of them. There are shows where everything clicks. The wrestling, the promos, the entertainment. Everything fits together perfectly, and the result is magic. Was this one of those shows? Not quite. There were some serious issues that I'll get into in a minute. The wrestling wasn't really anything spectacular. But the entertainment value. Oh man. Once this show got rolling, it was win on top of win on top of win, and by the end of the night, you couldn't have wiped the smile off my face with a sandblaster. I was grinning like a jackass. I had so much fun watching this one. So no more stalling. Let's get the boring stuff out of the way first. The show starts with an Aces of Eights promo. Bully Ray is putting over the Dixie Carter heel turn from last week, and he's reading the Meat Shields' The Riot Act. But one thing he does not talk about in any major detail is his match with AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of Bound for Glory in 3 weeks. That's a problem. But hey, fuck our pay-per-view main event. The Meat Shields were the main focus of this segment because they just gotta drag this crap out as long as humanly possible because apparently the writers think that making sure this never-ending, godforsaken angle lives to the finish line is more important than Bully doing something with AJ.
Congratulations, you just renewed your idiot license.
They've got a 6-man tag with the Main Event Mafia. If one of them gets pinned, they're out of the club. And if you're like me, you were hoping that Magnus would just pick up Nux, hit the Mag Daddy driver with Nux onto Wesson Garrett, and pin all 3 of these chumps. Long story short, the segment doesn't go too long. Wesson Garrett never touched the microphone. That's really all we could ask for. 6-person mixed tag match. Eric Young and Joseph Park, who I am actually really enjoying together, and ODB versus Gail Kim and the Bromance. I spent most of this match wondering what the Bromance did to get another crack at EY and Joseph when the faces chewed them up and spit them out last week, but this is something TNA doesn't feel they need to address. The match is forgettable. You got the Bromance trying to act like badasses, which is just laughable at this point. So fast forward to the end. Robbie gets taken out, and the faces take turns hitting splashes on Jesse, who then gets pinned by ODB.
I'm laughing at you.
This was fucking priceless. I don't even like ODB and I was laughing my ass off. These clowns can't beat anyone. I do feel a little bad for Jesse Goddard, but man, I laughed so damn hard. TNA is burying the shit out of these guys, and as someone who thought Robbie E was a waste of time since day one, yeah, I'm enjoying it. But as entertaining as it is to watch these guys get embarrassed, just like last week, I have to wonder where this is going. EY, Joseph, and now ODB have handed the Bromance their balls 4 times in 2 weeks. You've pretty much finished this feud off. There's no Bound for Glory potential here, so what's the purpose of this? To gear up EY and Joseph for a tag team title shot, maybe? I'm fine with that, but there's only so much momentum they're going to gain by obliterating 2 guys who have never won a single match together. Just saying. Austin Aries is out for a promo to remind us that even though he won't be main eventing Bound for Glory, he is always the main event because of how #great he is, by God. But he gets interrupted by the returning Kenny King.
Yes!
Oh, hell yeah! You put these two in a talking segment together, how can you go wrong? Great promos here. Kenny even threw in a Generation Next reference. I was marking out all over the place. Get Aries and King into a real feud and they could blow the roof off the arena. This turns into an impromptu match, which actually gets pretty vicious with Kenny getting busted open the hard way, and Aries wins. I'm not sure what this did for Kenny King exactly, but for now I'm just happy the dude is back on TV. Lady Tapa hype video. Well, we asked for new knockouts. We asked and we begged and we pleaded for a long damn time, and now we're getting one. It might not be one that everybody wanted, but it's something. I have a lot of mixed feelings about this. Based on what I've seen from Tapa and OVW, I just don't think she's ready for TV yet. I still find her pretty sloppy in the ring, and she needs to work on promos and character stuff in my opinion. Still seems really green to me, so this feels premature, and I really hope it's not a last-minute knee-jerk reaction to them losing so many women lately, but that's probably what it is. This video looked like it was shot in about 20 minutes, a couple hours before the show, so they're rushing Tapa to TV, and I just don't agree with it. But the bottom line is, TNA needs new knockouts in the worst way possible, and like Tapa or not, she's who we're getting, so let's give her a chance. I imagine she'll do better when she has better opponents to work with. In all due respect to the women of OVW, but a lot of them really ain't that good. So put Tapa in the ring, give her some matches with Gail Kim, who can bring out the best in just about anyone, and who knows what could happen. And if you're bummed out that you're not getting the woman you wanted, and I'm not saying I don't feel the same way, don't worry about it. You know, this is by no means the end of it. They've still got a whole lot of spots on the Knockout roster they need to fill. I mean like 5 spots, so there's still plenty of room. You know, they're trying out girls in developmental. The UK tour's not far off, so I expect we'll see the Blossom Twins before the end of the year. Beyond that, the sky's the limit. I just hope that they'll do the right thing and take care to find those quality girls that Gail was talking about, because this next group of knockouts is going to have some really big shoes to fill. They're replacing women like Tara and Mickie James, and not everyone is going to be able to do that. These new signees need to be chosen very carefully. Coincidentally, TNA, Nikki Storm is touring the United States right now, and Shauna is coming back in October. Just saying.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Hulk Hogan had an in-ring segment, which he used to hype up his in-ring segment later in the night, which seemed awfully pointless. And somewhat disconcerting was that he claimed that he was going to fist this situation with Dixie Carter. Yeah. He was going to fist Dixie Carter. Careful there, Hulk. TNA has very strict rules against that sort of thing. Just ask Austin Aries. You could be looking at a big-ass fine, brother. Chris Sabin versus Manic for the X Division title. The match is going just fine until Sabin tragically re-injured his knee. But man, what a warrior. Showing an almost superhuman pain threshold, Chris Sabin somehow manages to push through the agonizing pain in his knee and finish the match anyway. What a courageous performance! What a brave, brave man is our former World Heavyweight Champion! And it makes me sick that underhanded son of a bitch Manic would not only take advantage of the soon-to-be 7-time X Division Champion's injury, but exploit Velvet Sky as well. The girlfriend that our hero loves more than anything as a distraction to win the match, and Chris Sabin gets screwed once again. Typical. What a despicable act. What a miserable excuse for a human being. What kind of a man are you, Manic? And I ask you, what kind of a man wears a mask on TV? I'll tell you, a kind of man that's got something to hide. I never trusted that TJ Perkins with those beady eyes of his. I always knew he was no good. Rest assured, though, this is just a momentary setback. You might put our uncrowned X Division champion down, but you can't put him out. Your day is coming, Manic, and at Bound for Glory, you can bet your ass the one true king will reign supreme once again. Hail Saban! Okay, seriously though, Chris Sabin is very entertaining as a heel, and I laughed when he used Velvet Sky as a human shield. I did feel like it was all kind of overdone, but it was the first time they went to this place, so it was warranted, I think. I'm still really hoping Velvet Sky turns heel too, and I think she will, because he was using her to pull all sorts of shenanigans here, and she never called him on it, so that's probably coming up. Sabin attacks Manic post-match, and Austin Aries makes the save, which they set up earlier in the night. All this was fine. And when you add this to Jeff Hardy making the save last week, they're kind of rounding up all these X Division guys now, and Hardy, and you don't need to read the spoilers to know where it's headed. They're probably setting up some big multi-man Ultimate X at Bound for Glory. That's the go-to match when they don't know what else to do with these guys. Not really on board with that, to be honest. I'm sure it'll be a fantastic match, but that's a few Ultimate X's they've done this year alone. It's a little excessive, guys. You're getting close to Vince Russo ladder match territory here. Do I have to bring the Screaming Pillow out of retirement? I don't think you want that. An Ultimate X feels unnecessary in my opinion, but on the other hand, they've got so few selling points for Bound for Glory as it is, so I guess I can see why they'd want to do it at least. Then it was time for the Main Event Mafia versus the Meat Shields. Pin all three! Pin all three! Pin all three! Once again, you couldn't have a bigger mismatch if you tried. Why are we wasting so much goddamn time deliberating this? You never thought for 1 second that the Mafia didn't have this in the bag, even when it became 2-on-3. And why? Because these guys suck. They mean nothing. TNA is trying to play it like they're actual stars, like we have an investment in them, like they've been a vital, integral part of this Aces of AIDS angle, but they're not. We're just waiting for them to go away. From day one, they've been the drizzling shits, and everyone knows it.
Your posterior better contact someone at once.
And that's why it was so wonderfully cathartic to watch Samoa Joe tap out Wes Briscoe. Wes is gone. Hopefully that was the last time we ever see him. Thank God.
And if you're not down with that, we have 2 words for you. You're welcome.
It absolutely blows my mind how much time and money TNA wasted on this loser. Wes Briscoe. Yeah, great signing there, Pritchard. Him going out like a bitch pretty much sums up his entire run in this company. Bully Ray pile drives him. Nux and Garrett don't even try to stand up to him this time, so thankfully Bully got his testicles back this week. That's a plus. Goodbye and good riddance, Wes. Please don't come back. Ever.
Now forever leave my presence. Leave this ring. Leave this building. Leave the state. I think you should be exiled from the United States of America.
Does anyone else find it really funny that EGO are basically just trolling Magnus at this point? They don't even really seem to have a goal here. They just want to mess with him. Oh, God, I love Bad Influence. This final segment was something else, I gotta tell you. Hogan pumps up the crowd. He placates AJ into signing a new contract. But then Dixie Carter comes out, getting a ton of heat, by the way. She tears up the contract, she trolls her internet critics, and then that magnificent woman put Hulk Hogan on notice and got the hell out of there before Hogan could give her his British fist. Good Lord. You know, over the years, when Dixie Carter has appeared on the show to be used in storylines, she's always looked uncomfortable, nervous, and constantly close to tears, if not simply bawling her eyes out. And holy crap, what a transformation this has been. She looks so much more comfortable this way. She looks like she's having fun. And goddamn it, This was fun to watch. She gets all up in Hogan's grill and gives him an ultimatum. And it was beautiful. Finally, Dixie Carter is acting like she's actually the boss of this company instead of being all submissive and helpless. I mean, yeah, we're in familiar territory with the heel authority figure now, but this is the first time they've ever done this with Dixie Carter, so it feels new to me. So I love this segment. This was great stuff. However, the problem is, once again, it did virtually nothing to hype the Bound for Glory main event. Right now, it feels like TNA is completely throwing AJ Styles versus Bully Ray under the bus. Bully is preoccupied with 3 chumps who shouldn't be anywhere near him at this point. AJ is preoccupied with Dixie Carter, and the world title match seems like the furthest thing from their minds. They have barely acknowledged each other so far, and that's not going to sell this match or this pay-per-view. Now, doing Bully versus AJ based on the Aces of 8's angle and AJ's road to redemption was going to have little to no buzz. I think most of us agree on that. The Dixie Carter thing does give it a new hook, but they need to explain how exactly Dixie factors into that match, and they need to build up the heat between these guys. And that applies to this whole pay-per-view. Your biggest show of the year is in 3 weeks, and you've got 1 match announced. You don't see anything wrong with that?
You people are fools!
It seems like TNA is putting a lot of effort into setting up this new creative direction, and it is interesting, but they're kind of sacrificing Bound for Glory to do it. They're already looking ahead to what comes after Bound for Glory, and after they put so much time into AJ redeeming himself and Bully Ray getting his ultimate comeuppance for the 1.5 years of crap he put the company through, there is shockingly little interest here. You really have to review this episode as 2 different things. The bromance getting humiliated, Aries and King, Saban's entertaining heel antics, Wes Briscoe getting kicked out, hopefully for good, Dixie Carter completely pooning Hulk Hogan, which was awesome. I swear, I'm dead serious when I say this. Taken on its own merits, just on pure entertainment value, this might have been one of the best impacts in years. Years! But in terms of hyping Bound for Glory, it was another failure. I'm not excited for this pay-per-view at all right now, and that really concerns me. So to sum this all up, I had a hell of a fun time watching Impact this week, but in 3 weeks of Bound for Glory, that may not matter in the least. You got a lot of work to do here, TNA. You better get to it.